Imagine a man standing tall on the open plains when tugging at his cloak, eyes burning with the fire of 100 storms. This is the story of a warrior chief who refused to bow to any power, who dared to defy empires, and who became a symbol of courage, wisdom, and unyielding spirit. In just 3 seconds, you will feel the power of a leader whose very name shook colonial powers. Across the rolling plains, where the grass sways like the heartbeat of the land itself, his people lived freely, guided by tradition, honor, and the sacred laws of the ancestors. But a shadow loomed. Foreign powers, armies of steel and fire, hungry for land and dominance, sought to impose their rule, erase the culture, and subjugate the free people. Entire generations had already fallen under conquest, yet one man refused to accept the fate dictated by outsiders. From the moment he first mounted his horse, the chief understood that leadership was not measured by titles or wealth, but by courage, wisdom, and the willingness to protect one's people even against overwhelming odds. He moved with the spirit of the eagle, sharp, patient, and fearless. He understood the land, knew every river, every hill, every hidden path. And he knew that knowledge of your environment is a weapon more powerful than any gun. As the colonial forces advanced, they underestimated the power of conviction, the strength of a united community, and the force of a heart unwilling to bend. They thought that guns and numbers alone could crush the spirit of a people, but they had never faced a warrior who fought not for conquest, but for the preservation of his people's soul. The chief's wisdom extended far beyond the battlefield. He taught his people to read the signs of the land and the seasons, to understand the behavior of enemies and allies alike. He emphasized that courage without strategy is recklessness, and that true leadership is measured not in victories alone, but in the lives preserved, the spirits lifted, and the hope instilled in generations yet to come. In the heat of battle, he led with clarity and calm. While others panicked, he saw patterns in chaos, opportunities where others saw only despair. Ambushes, retreats, fights, they were not tricks for personal glory. They were tools to safeguard life, to protect children, elders, and the legacy of generations. Every decision carried weight. Every movement mattered. The chief also understood the power of diplomacy. He knew that strength is not just in swords but in negotiation, and the ability to unite scattered forces. In speaking the language of peace when possible, and wielding the language of defiance when necessary. Why? He forged alliances with other tribes, building a network of mutual support, ensuring that no single power could isolate and crush his people. His brilliance was in balancing courage with foresight, action with wisdom, defiance with patience. Yet, the empire was relentless. Soldiers came in waves, guns thundered across the plains, and they promised land, wealth, and obedience in exchange for submission. But the chief, unwavering, stood firm. He knew that freedom has no price that can be negotiated, that dignity cannot be traded for comfort, and that the courage to defend one's soul is the mightiest shield of all. He became a living testament that a single, resolute spirit could ignite the courage of an entire nation. There were moments of despair. Entire villages burned, allies betrayed, and the weight of responsibility threatened to crush him. But every time, he rose, not with anger, but with renewed determination. He taught his people that setbacks are lessons, that courage is forged in adversity, and that even in the darkest night, hope can burn brighter than any fire. He faced impossible odds, endured betrayals, saw friends fall, yet never faltered. His life became a story whispered across generations, a legend not written in textbooks of conquerors, but in the hearts of the free. Even when the enemy thought victory was within reach, his resilience turned despair into hope. His people learned that the strength of a community, guided by fearless leadership, can withstand the weight of empires. Beyond battles, he was a visionary. He knew that preserving culture, traditions, and identity was as crucial as any victory in war. He held councils, passed down stories of courage, and instilled in the youth a sense of responsibility for the future. He taught that true leaders build not only armies but minds, hearts, and spirits. The strength of a people is measured in their unity, wisdom, and belief in something greater than themselves. And then there were the moments of quiet, the nights under the stars when he reflected on the cost of freedom. He thought of the lives lost, the homes destroyed, the families torn apart. He wondered if the path of defiance was worth the suffering. And in those moments, he found his answer: courage is never free, but the price of surrender is far greater. Freedom, dignity, and legacy are built through trials, not convenience. The warrior chief's legacy reminds us that oppression can never permanently silence a people who refuse to be broken, that wisdom and strategy are as vital as bravery, and that every act of defiance, no matter how small, contributes to the preservation of dignity and freedom. He teaches that life's battles are not only external but internal, that resilience, foresight, and an unwavering sense of purpose define true leadership. He became more than a warrior. He became a symbol, a beacon that courage can overcome tyranny, that wisdom can outmaneuver force, and that one determined heart can inspire generations. His story is a reminder that you do not need an army to make a difference. Conviction, strategy, and persistence are weapons that no empire can destroy. And here is the lesson, the truth that transcends time: leadership is not about bending under pressure. It is about standing tall when the storm rages, about inspiring others to rise when fear paralyzes, about defending what is sacred even when the world tells you it is impossible. Courage is contagious, and hope, when carried by one determined heart, can ignite the soul of an entire nation. So, remember the warrior chief. Remember that the fight is not only on battlefields but within every one of us. Stand for what you believe, defend what is right, and inspire those around you to rise above oppression, fear, and doubt. In your life, there will be forces that seem unstoppable, but courage, strategy, wisdom, and the strength of conviction will always carve a path where none seem to exist. If this story inspired you, if you feel the fire of courage stirring within, make sure to like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to the channel. Let the spirit of the warrior chief remind you that defiance in the face of injustice is never futile, that your voice, your strength, and your courage matter. And together, we can rise, just as he did, against any force that dares to silence the free.